Hi, everybody. This is the debrief for the self-awareness activity that I posted for the week of May 12th. I'm going to just paraphrase these cards. We've got loss or liberation. We've got structured free flow. And we've got problem or solution. So loss or liberation is basically saying for every time there is a loss, there's also a liberation from something. And a liberation of time, of money, of commitment, various different things. And sometimes just plain burdens. And you're being asked to look at what the place of loss was in your life. And were you able to identify the liberation that came with it? The structured free flow that you were being asked to create was, or to engage, was to actually literally put yourself in a state of mind where you were creating a structure, a framework, where you had anchor points that allowed you to keep in mind and apply problem or solution. So I think I discussed the fact that sometimes I think the structured free flow can be a little bit difficult to apply to some of the activities. So for this one, because problem or solution is something that might come up randomly or might not, basically what I would say in this case was, what I suggested was that you take the idea of a structured free flow, create anchor points at which you would stop and you would reflect in that moment on how many times in a day had you focused on a problem, or how many times in your life had you focused on a problem instead of focusing on the solution. And that might have taken shape as of a journal once a day. It might have been just stopping for 3 times a day each time you ate a meal, just to spend a little bit of time reflecting on that and looking at whether or not you were focusing on a problem in your current life and what were you choosing instead. Okay? When were you continuing to focus on that problem? And when were you allowing yourself to shift? And did having that structured free flow where you got to look at it give you the opportunity to deliberately shift your way of thinking? Now, loss or liberation as a reflection card, this I think is a really interesting thing, because one of the things the problem or solution card is talking about is whenever you find yourself complaining about something or someone, stop and ask yourself, do I want the problem or do I want the solution? And answer honestly, because you may genuinely still want the problem. If you look at the middle of the loss or liberation card, we choose at any given moment to focus on whether or not we perceive the loss or the liberation. One is heavy, one is light. That for me goes perfectly with the idea of, do you want the problem or do you want the solution? Not a solution exactly, but feeling-wise, quality. Do you want to focus on the loss or do you want to focus on the liberation? Okay, so I would say check in with your week on those things. See if any of that came up. If you haven't done it, then and you would like to go back to the first post where the cards are explained a little bit more specifically and some more deliberate suggestions are there. Okay, and that's it for now. Take care.